Our top story this morning, the long-awaited trial of former President Jacob Zuma and his co-accused French arms company Thales is set down for today at the KwaZulu-Natal High Court in Pietermaritzburg. Their application for a permanent stay of prosecution was dismissed last Friday. It's not yet clear if Zuma and Thales intend appealing that judgment. The fraud, corruption, racketeering and money laundering charges date back to the multi-million rand arms deal in the 1990s. Handing down the ruling on Friday, Judge Jerome Nguni said the court found the seriousness of the Zuma charges faces outweigh any prejudice which he claimed he would suffer if the trial went ahead. So for more on what's expected in the courtroom today, let's cross over to Ayanda Mhlongo, who is in Pietermaritzburg. Ayanda, a good morning to you. Have there been any developments regarding an appeal against Friday's judgment?
A very good morning to you, Leanne. Good morning to our viewers. Well, certainly, Leanne, that is what we will be waiting to find out here this morning when the former President Jacob Zuma, together with his co-accused, the French arms company Thales, appears here for the start of their trial. Of course, as you said, as we know, last week, this court denying or dismissing his application for a permanent stay of prosecution. Now, speaking to legal experts, Leanne, they did indicate that there is likely, and looking at the case, that the former president and his co-accused were going to take the appeal route or file for an appeal or to appeal this judgment. Now, what could likely happen in the court here today is if the appeal is granted, then a go ahead or a date will be set then for that appeal. They also have the option, if that appeal is denied, that they then petition the Supreme Court of Appeal. But it seems like today we will then of course find out. As you know, last week on Friday, after the judgment, the former president refusing to comment, so we are unable to get any indication from him what he is likely to decide. Possibly again, we presumed that he and his defense team needed time to go through that judgment, and today then they will possibly announce their decision here in court. Of course, as you know, Leanne, that while the focus will be on Zuma's defense team and Thales in terms of the way forward for them, today, unlike Friday where there were no supporters of the former president, today in fact we are expecting that there are going to be quite a number of people that will gather. Those organizing the support for the former president did indicate that they will be mobilizing across the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and just across from where we are, as you can see, there is already a van that is there, and that will be the stage, as we know in previous appearances, that once the court proceedings are done, the former president just walks across to the Freedom Park and he then addresses his supporters. But 9 o'clock, Leanne, that is when the court starts, and we will then learn and find out whether or not the former president will indeed be appealing the court judgment. Leanne.
Ayanda Mhlongo holding that story down for us, the very big story of the day, and we certainly will be crossing to her throughout the duration of this program.